Hi, and welcome back to Dating Advice After Divorce. My name is Craig, and thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about part 2 of debt equals stress. Now in part 1, I talked about how bad stress can be on you emotionally, mentally, physically, and things that you can do to help reduce stress in your life, such as daily exercise. If you're going to the gym and you're exercising and you're trying to eat right, you're going to feel better about yourself, mentally, emotionally. You're going to see changes in yourself physically. And once you start to see those changes, you're going to be less likely to want to do things such as smoking or excessive drinking or doing drugs. So overall, you're becoming a healthier person, and that's going to help reduce your stress right there. Then you're also like, okay, what else in my life can I control in order to help reduce stress? Well, debt is one of them, because you can be in control of your debt and focus on it and reduce it. And that's what we want to talk about here, is attacking your debt. Now, in the first video, I talked about this book right here. I was married at the time. My wife said, hey, please read this book. When you're done, I want us to talk about our financial planning. So I read the book, made a lot of sense, and I said, okay, I'm on board. What do you need me to do? I'm all in. Because you need to be bought in on a program if you're truly trying to get yourself out of debt. You can't just be like, okay, I'll throw some extra money at things here and there. No, you got to buy in. You got to change the way you think about things. And that's what allowed us to get out of debt. Now, I say, I show this book as an example because this is the book that I actually read. Get any good financial book that's out there. It's important that you see it in black and white and read it to say, oh, okay, this is what got me into debt. This is why I'm still in debt. These are the steps I can take in order to get out of debt. It's good to read that kind of stuff. All right. So I do recommend that. Now, any good financial planner or any good book that you're going to read, they're going to say the first thing you got to start with is a budget. There's a lot of people that live their lives without having a budget. You need to know what your expenses are and how much you are spending every month. So you got to sit down, pen to paper, and write it all out. It might be scary to see it and be like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I had no idea. And that's why you're just paying minimum monthly payments to all these different, creditors out there. So you've got to do that. You got to understand where you're starting from. Okay? Now, there's a lot of research that shows people who actually carry cash around with them are less likely to spend that cash. We all use our debit and credit cards 100 times a month, right? Because it's so easy. Beep, boop, swipe, scan, boom. We're not even seeing the money leaving our account. We're just swiping our cards. But when you actually have cash and you take out your wallet and you see you have 50 bucks in there and you're about to buy something that's $35, but yet you still have some other things you got to get, you're less likely to buy that item or buy less of it. Because you're like, okay, I'm physically handing over my money. You can see it. You see the difference right there in your wallet. Okay? So consider carrying cash around with you because it might change how much you are actually spending. Now, when you have your budget and you see all the different expenses in 1 month, you're going to have to say, okay, what can I eliminate here? I need to save some money to start applying to my creditors who are out there, because that's where the debt is. So little things such as maybe going from 5 streaming services down to 2 per month or 1. Maybe not going out to eat 5 or 6 times a week, maybe just twice a week. Or make your coffee at home and stop paying for coffee. Little things like that. The money can add up. What you want to do with that money, let's just say it's, $350 that you're saving per month. And you've got 7 creditors that you got to pay. 2 or 3 credit cards, car payment, student loans, mortgage. Okay, you've got to pay these creditors. You need to take that $350 and you need to pick one of those creditors and pay that extra money to every single month. Now, don't get me wrong. Continue to pay every creditor on time, because if you miss, it's going to affect your credit score, and you do not want that. I'm saying make all minimum payments, but take that extra money, pick one of the 7 creditors, and continue to pay them off until they're gone and done. Have you ever seen those competitive eaters on YouTube? Those people can eat large, massive amounts of food, and they've got like 7 plates of food in front of them. A majority of those eaters will eat 1 plate at a time, and they will actually remove the plates when they're done because it's a psychological thing. Okay, 7 becomes 6, 6 becomes 5, 5 becomes 4, and they're like, okay, I see it. I'm making a difference. I only got 3 more plates of food left. And they feel like they can complete that goal. If they're taking a little bit of food off of each one of those plates, 25 minutes into the competition, they're just like, I'm totally stuffed and I still see all this food in front of me. Same thing with your creditors. If you take that $350 and you're only throwing $50 extra at 7 creditors, you're going to be like, I see no difference. I'm making no dent whatsoever here. Forget this, I'm just going to go back to paying minimum payment. But if you stop doing that, if you take the $350, you pick 1 creditor, continue to pay them, whether it's 6 months or a year, boom, then they're done. Focus on the next creditor. Continue to pay them extra money. Boom, then they're done. All right. Now we're down to 4 creditors, 3 creditors. Next thing you know, you got a mortgage payment left. And that's where you should be reaching out to a financial advisor and saying, okay, I had all this debt and I paid it off. I want to plan for my future. That's when you start talking about where you should be putting your money in stocks and bonds and IRAs and all that kind of stuff. But if you went into a financial planner and you're just like, I'm totally drowning in debt, they're going to say, do you have a budget? Are you even trying to pay off these creditors? So at least this gives you somewhat of a head start to use. Another thing is you got to change the way that you think about things. If you don't have cash to pay for something, you don't get to buy it. You're trying to get yourself out of debt. So you've got to stop with the credit cards. You don't get to put stuff on the credit cards and only pay that minimum amount. You will never get out of debt if you continue to do that. You will only make the credit card companies rich and you will remain poor. Okay? So if you don't have the cash to pay for something, you don't get to buy it. Now, the credit card can still be used, but you need to think about it as a debit card. Just like what I do. Gas, groceries. I use the credit card for that. As soon as that payment becomes available to pay during the week, I pay it off. To me, it's just like using cash. And the nice thing is you earn points and you get cash back and all that kind of stuff. So that's fine. I'm not saying you can't, cut up all your credit cards, but you should probably, have just one. But you got to make sure you work that plan. Just do that plan. As soon as that payment's available, pay it off. So I'm able to pay mine during the week. And I suggest you don't wait to the end of the month and then you see this big number of like $1,000 of all your expenses during the month, because then you might say, oh, this is too much for me. I can't afford to pay $1,000. I'll just go back to paying the minimum amount. Well, if you paid during as you went, you had that $1,000. But just seeing the big number at the end of the month might be too much for you. I hope that makes some sense there on how to do that. But you got to think of your credit card as a debit card. If you buy something, that is truly money going out of your account. You cannot continue to carry over a monthly balance on your credit cards. Okay? So those are just a few areas right there. You've got to get a budget. You got to know how much you make, how much you're spending every month, where you can make some changes, take that extra money, start applying it to your creditors, get them paid off. And then another thing is, you can never go backwards. You can't go backwards and be like, wow, I just got a mortgage payment left. I did it. I got it myself pretty much totally out of debt. I deserve that car. I'm going to go get that car now. It's only a $400 a month car payment. I'll be okay. Oh, I can start using my credit card again and just making monthly payments. I can get myself out of debt if I need to. You can't. You can't go back that way. This was years and years and years ago for me. And I still live this way to this day of, paying things off right away, not carrying any credit card balances or anything like that. It was a total mind shift. And you've got to be that way too. You can't go backwards, okay? I'm not saying you can never get a new car again, but as soon as you're out of debt, don't jump right back into it again and start putting things on credit. Don't do that. All right? So there you go. Hopefully you found this helpful. I just want to kind of throw out a few things to you. Maybe it's going to help you jumpstart you to say, yeah, I've got to make some changes when it comes to my financial planning and the debt that I have. I want to reduce the amount of stress in my life. I want to take those bricks of stress out of the backpack that I'm carrying around, and I want to have a happier, healthier life. So hopefully, I've helped in some way. So please like and subscribe, share this out with anybody you think could benefit from this information. Comment down below. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Thank you very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.